Nigerians urged to sustain prayers for unity and peaceful coexistence at Eid al-Fitr. Bayelsa State Governor Doye Diri signs Medical Residency Training Bill 2024 into law.
This government prioritizes the welfare of our workers.
Plus, correspondent takes a look at the role of the legislature in screening of executive nominees. Good evening and welcome to Parliamentary News on NTA Parliament. I am Ene Ojonuba. Many thanks for joining us and Baraka de Salah to our viewers. We begin in the spirit of the Salah celebration as Deputy Speaker, House of Representatives Benjamin Kalu has congratulated Muslim faithful across the country on the occasion of this year's Eid al-Fitr, which marked the end of the Ramadan fast. Kalu, in his Salah message, urges Nigerians, especially Muslim faithful, to continue to devote themselves to prayers for unity, peaceful coexistence, and progress of the nation. He calls on Nigerians to use the occasion to promote national integration and continue keeping faith with the leadership of the country, assuring that the country would soon witness the type of greatness desired by citizens. The Deputy Speaker expressed optimism that the efforts of the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu-led administration to transform the economy is yielding results. He therefore advised Nigerians to remain steadfast and united while the country's leaders work for its progress. Modalities for improved healthcare delivery in Bayelsa State has been concluded as the State Governor Doye Diri has signed the Medical Residency Training Bill 2024 into law. Assenting to the bill, the governor says the law provides for the promotion of healthcare services and standardized career progression for medical professionals in Bayelsa State. Doris Akumoye completes the report.
The Bayelsa State Medical Residency Training Bill 2024, just signed into law, among other things, focuses on establishing, organizing, managing and financing specialized residency training program for health professionals in an effort to tackle the scarcity of specialties within the state healthcare sector. The governor appreciated the leadership of the House, all the lawmakers and the unionists for the expeditious passage of the bill, and he is positive that it will enhance the status of resident doctors and indeed benefit the health-seeking members of the society. Governor Diri assures that his administration is poised to prioritize the welfare of workers.
This government prioritizes the welfare of our workers. If that is one issue that our workers see in the medical profession as something that must be attended to, and we agreed with them, seeing the benefit.
Leader of the Bayelsa State House of Assembly, Monday Buba Obulo, and the Chairman House Committee on Health, God bless Oyinke, reiterate that the law will boost the performance of health workers and build the capacity of resident doctors while ensuring effective and sustainable healthcare service delivery. They assure that it will also reduce the alarming brain drain and medical tourism experienced in recent times.
This is a bill that will build capacity and enhance the performance of resident doctors in our states, particularly those of them that will be doing training, residency training and medical practitioners.
For funding and initiative, it will help us get more surgeons, more anesthetics, more specialist doctors to solve this gap.
With the signing of the 2024 Medical Residency Training Bill, Bayelsa State becomes the first state to sign this bill into law. In Yenegoa, Bayelsa State Capital, Doris Akomoye, NTA News.
This year's World Health Day was marked in a legislative way in Osun, as the State House of Assembly has pledged that lawmakers in the state will continue to make laws that will enhance quality health care for citizens. This was revealed at a special session with World Health Organization officials who were in the State Assembly to observe this year's World Health Day. Kayode Oladoshun has the details.
A special session at the Osun State House of Assembly to mark this year's World Health Day set aside by World Health Organization. Addressing the lawmakers, the Osun State Coordinator, Dr. Ojediran, said the day is to raise awareness of global health issues. With the theme of this year's event, My Health, My Right, she reaffirmed the commitment of WHO towards good health care service delivery.
The right to health is a universal right of all human beings, regardless of their race, color, sex, language, religion, political or other opinions, national or social origin, property, birth, or another status. On this special day, WHO Osun State is urging the Right Honorable Speaker and all honorable members of the Osun State House of Assembly to personally and collectively commit more to resources in the health system in their constituencies and the state at large, to scale up efforts to build and strengthen quality, people-centered, sustainable and resilient health system.
While debating on the present status of health affairs in Osun State, the lawmakers pointed it out that the state government has prioritized preventive healthcare measures and seeking timely medical attention when necessary. In his own reaction, the Speaker of Osun State House of Assembly, Adewale Egbedun, made it known that the present administration and the State Assembly are determined more than ever before to ensure the delivery of quality, efficient, and affordable health care throughout the state.
The recent approval and subsequent passage of the Osun State Primary Health Care Development Board Law amendments by the Osun State House of Assembly further demonstrates our unwavering political will and commitment to achieving the highest attainable level of health for all residents of Osun State.
We are committed to allocating resources to the health sector and implementing impactful interventions such as those outlined by the WHO Osun State. The revitalizing of the primary healthcare centers, which is being done currently by our governor, is a welcome one.
World Health Day is celebrated April 7 every year with the main focus to create awareness and enlightenment campaigns on any health-related matters as concerned by the World Health Organization. In Osogbo, Kayode Oladoshu, NTA News.
Now following security challenges in Akwa Ibom State, the House of Assembly has passed a resolution urging Governor Umo Eno to direct the Commissioner for Transport to liaise with security agents to enforce the ban of motorcyclist operations on restricted routes in Uyo. The resolution follows a motion presented by member for Mpa Esen State Constituency, Uwem Imo Ita, on the need to reinforce the ban and prosecution of motorcyclists plying unauthorized areas within the metropolis. Nsikak Okon reports.
Mr. Maita says uncontrolled operations of motorcyclists within major areas in Uyo have contributed to upsurge in crime, urging relevant law enforcement agents in collaboration with the State Ministry of Transport to reinforce the ban. He frowned that the law enforcement agencies who are supposed to enforce the law are the major defaulters.
Within the state capital city, the private state government had once placed a ban on motorcyclists from flying major roads in New York. Some of such roads are Barracks Road, Udoma Avenue, Ibom Plaza, to mention but a few. Aware that the perpetration of crimes such as bag snatching, pickpocketing, among others, informed the state ban, having established that syndicates prioritizes motorcyclists in the masterminding and perpetration of these crimes to any other means of transportation.
Supporting the motion, members representing Ibionibum and Ibisipo Sultan state constituencies noted that Proper sensitization should be given to motorcyclists as well as their assigned areas of operation.
It is important we drum into the ears of our law enforcement agents to rise up to their respective responsibilities of protecting life and property in the state. This ban was made to fight against the menace of crime in the state. A lot of persons were killed in this state because of the criminal activities of motorcyclists. A lot of persons have scars in their body today because of the activities of criminals who hide under the shelter of motorcyclists to commit crime in this state. It is important we rise as a law makers in this state and charge the executive to live up to the expectation.
So what we need is proper sensitization. The aim should rise up and work hard in sensitizing our people against driving roughly, against committing crimes. I also let you know that there are crime fighters that will get to them. The law will get to them before they commit crimes.
After much deliberations, the Speaker Udemotong directed the Clerk of the House, Nsika Abase Rock, to write to the State Governor Omoino on the need to reinforce the ban and instruct relevant agencies to ensure strict compliance. Nsika Okon, NTA News.
And in other news, the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS Female Parliamentarians Association, has announced its newly elected executive committee with Maimouna Cissé of the Gambia chosen as the Secretary General. The association serves as a voice for female parliamentarians within the ECOWAS parliaments, advocating for increased representation of women in both decision-making roles and political spheres across the region. New Secretary General Maimouna Cissé will work with a strong leadership team, including President Veronica Cissé of Sierra Leone and First Vice President Senator Chantal Fani Mosuko of Ivory Coast. Others are Second Vice President Senator Ireti Kingibe of Nigeria, Third Vice President Issa Philomena Pierre Soares da Costa of Cape Verde, Deputy Secretary General Blessing Onu of Nigeria, and Treasurer Kono Agbandao of Togo. You are watching NTA Parliament News. We pause now for a break. Do stay with us for more on the news when we return. Don't go away.
Are you looking for a short channel to make your business, goods and services go viral? Look no further, as NTA Parliament is your short channel. Take advantage of our wider reach and advertise your products and services on NTA Parliament DSTV channel 370, GoTV channel 126, StarTimes channel 306, and Free TV channel 706. For more inquiries, contact the Marketing Department, NTA Parliament, NTA Headquarters Area 11 Garki Abuja, or call these numbers 080-383-40464 or 080-770-78055. NTA Parliament, strengthening Nigeria's democracy.
Thanks for staying with us. Now, separation of powers is one of the beauties of democracy, as checks and balance remain fundamental to checkmate arbitrariness among the three arms of government. Parliamentary screening of nominees for the appointments by the executive is a major part of checks and balance, and this report by Ignatius Nko highlights its constitutionality.
The people are the center of liberal democracy, a government with three arms carrying out overlapping constitutional functions: the executive, legislature, and the judiciary. Section 147 of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, as amended, provides that the power to approve presidential nominees for appointment as ministers of the Federation, ambassadors and members of the board of other executive bodies is vested in the Senate. Similarly, the power to approve governors' nominees for commissioners and members of other state executive bodies resides with the House of Assembly of the states. Parliamentary screening of executive nominees plays a major role in ensuring that only the best are recruited into governance through adequate scrutiny.
The parliaments are the representatives of the various constituencies that makes up the federation. They should be the ones to see regarding the quality and the competence of those to be saddled with the responsibility of national governance.
The parliament does not need to disqualify a ministerial nominee to exert its authority. The powers of the parliaments are clear in the constitution. It holds the escort. So I don't think it will require you don't show of strength.
Whenever the legislature disapproves any nominee submitted by the executive for a particular position, such a nominee can also be resubmitted for the same or another position. Loretta Onochie's rejection by the Ninth Senate as National Commissioner for the Independent National Electoral Commission and her subsequent approval as Chairman of the Niger Delta Development Commission Board is a clear example.
To approve such a person in a sensitive capacity like the position of an INEC Commissioner, which is an electoral empire. So she has clearly defined her position in the political space, so it will not make sense to screen and approve her for such a position.
Ironically, this constitutional provision appears to be jettisoned by some state governors who hardly present their nominees to their state assemblies for confirmation.
You will discover that so many state governors will just go ahead and appoint their commissioners, and then to the extent of getting them sworn in. That does not invalidate the appointment by the governors. Like I said, there is no strict sense of compelling necessity that they must be screened, but the tradition has really brought it out, and other oversight function and other parliamentary practices all over the world.
Some critics have claimed that the legislature sometimes abuse the power of confirmation and use it as a tool for getting at the executive, just as some persons alleged that the rejection of Ibrahim Magu as chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission twice by the 8th Senate was a payback to the executive at the time. Ignatius Nkwo, NTA News.
Many thanks, Ignatius, for that report. And now joining us via Zoom to shed light on the issue is Public Affairs Analyst Jide Ojo. Thanks for joining us on Parliamentary News.
It's my pleasure. Good afternoon. Happy holidays.
Now, Jide, from past and recent antecedents, how would you rate parliamentary screening of executive nominees in Nigeria? Would you say it is rigorous and intensive with a view to ensuring that only the best get to become public office holders?
Parliamentary screening has been a tradition over the ages. It comes with democratic ethos, and we need to understand that it's one of the principles of checks and balances that we have in a democracy. So usually when there is a nomination, whether ministerial or commissionership nomination from the executive arm, the National or State Assembly is expected to screen those nominations to see whether they are worthy of their nominations. And if you go by recent development where in August last year, when the presidential ministerial nominees were sent to the National Assembly, not all of them scaled the others. There are some that were not confirmed, like former governor of Kaduna State, Nasir El-Rufai, and a couple of others whose nominations were also either withdrawn or replaced. And it tells you that, in a democracy, there is that principle of checks and balances between and among the three arms of government, the executive, the legislature, and the judiciary. But here we are talking of executive and legislative relationship. that in the principle of separation of powers and also checks and balances, you need to, one arm of government cannot go it alone. It has to work collaboratively with the other arm of government.
There seems to be so much attention on Parliament at the federal level during screening for ministerial or other executive positions. Do you see this playing out too at the state assemblies, or do they just rubber stamp executive nominations?
Well, the focus has not really been on the state houses of assembly, but more at the national level. But the allegations was that the state houses of assembly have not really lived up to expectation in terms of being very dynamic and independent of the executive arm of government. So you are likely going to see any nomination, whether commissionership or head of agencies, department, and ministry in a state, sailing through once it's a nomination from the office of the governor. You are likely going to see that. So we haven't seen much independence exerted by the state houses of assembly, unlike what obtains with the federal lawmakers or federal Senate and House of Reps, where they have shown some measure of independence, perhaps because they have independence funding or what we call financial autonomy. So they are able to resist pressure, and not all the nominees of the president usually scale through. But at the state level, I doubt if any speaker of the state house of assembly or any state house of assembly, as a matter of fact, will be able to dare the governor by rejecting any of his nominees. But there could be one or two instances, just that the awareness is not there, that many of the state houses of assembly has been able to exert any measure of independence in terms of screening and nomination of the governorship candidates or the nominations from the office of the governor.
In your opinion, going forward, what should lawmakers set as a standard or checklist for screening of executive nominees to raise the bar of qualitative public office holders in our nation?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, we just need to have a tradition. And one tradition I think we also need to discontinue is all this idea that if somebody has been a former member of a parliament or a former member of a Senate or House of Reps, all you just ask the person to do is to bow and go. I don't think that is doing justice. Rather than all this soft landing that are given to people who have held previous parliamentary positions, either as a member of House of Reps, either a member of Senate or a member of State House of Assembly, or even a councillor. You cannot say because somebody was a former councillor, he has legislative experience, so he doesn't to be thoroughly screened as a ministerial nominee. It's a different skill set you need for not the same skill you need for a senator. So that would be my own advice.
Thank you for your insights, Jide Ojo.
It's a pleasure. Keep safe. Happy holidays.
Thank you. Moving on now, the Director General, National Institute for Legislative and Democratic Studies, Professor Abubakar Suleiman, has expressed shock over the passing of Justice Ahmad Olarewaju Belgore, retired. In a statement released by the acting director at NILS, Joke Akinsomi, Professor Suleiman described Justice Belgore's demise as a great loss not only to his family, but also to the entire legal community and the people of Kwara State. He says Justice Belgore's illustrious career and dedication to upholding justice have left an indelible mark on the legal system, adding that his contributions to jurisprudence and commitment to the rule of law earned him respect and admiration throughout his tenure. Professor Suleiman further says his thoughts and prayers are with the Belgore family while praying for the repose of the soul of the deceased. And on that note, we have come to the end of Parliamentary News for today. Remember, you can watch these and other news bulletins on our social media handles showing on your screen. Thanks again for watching, and I am Ene Ojonugba. Good evening.